So I just got back home from a No Kings rally. It was really fun, and I've been seeing a lot of people say the No Kings rally is, and I quote directly from the Speaker of the House, the GOP tries to brand anti-Trump No Kings protest as un-American. Not American at all. A protest saying they don't want kings is un-American, saying it's anti-Trump. It is anti-Trump because Trump is acting like a king, but they're saying that it's a hate America pro-Hamas gathering. But it's not about Hamas. As a matter of fact, it's beyond Hamas. This is not a hate America. As a matter of fact, this is specifically American. And I don't know why they're saying this. This is very interesting. Speaker Mike Johnson on Friday slammed the No Kings protest march scheduled to take place at the National Hope Mall next week, describing the planned protest as the Hate America rally that would draw the pro-Hamas wing and the Antifa people. His characterizations, however, draw a combination from some Democrats who defended the protest movement, whose first big demonstration was overwhelmingly peaceful. And guess what? It was still overwhelmingly peaceful today. Here in Michigan. It was outstanding. I loved every second of it. One dude gave me donut and water. And I'm so angry and confused by this nonsense that I'm going to have to go into an ad break so I can get paid. Boom!
Hey, you actually stuck around for the ad? I'm so proud of you. Let me tell you what I'm pitching to you real fast. Here's something you can do when you're bored. Playing games and getting paid for it. If you hit the link in the description or scan the QR code on the screen right now, you see that popping up right there? Look at that. It's so cool. It's so convenient. You can sign up to freecash.com and start right away. Now, I know your inclination to say this is a scam, but I assure you, I tried it myself. I thought it was a scam myself. Actually, I did actually try it out and it actually worked. I didn't expect to actually get paid, but I'm getting moolah, baby. It's simple. Create an account with your email and password. It takes seconds. Literal seconds. Inside, you'll see a wall of games, a bevy of things, and offers. Pick one you actually enjoy, play through levels, and cash land straight into your free cash account. It's like turning your downtime into a side hustle without even noticing. Some people pull in $10 to $20 a day, but I've seen reports of much more moolah, Mr. Krabs. I've seen Scrooge McDuck numbers, and you can do this all while laying in your bedroom playing games on your phone. All they ask of you is that you spend your time playing the video games. They just want your time. Now, you could spend a little bucks in game to hit levels faster, which lets you unlock the bigger offers and payouts because you gotta hit the levels to get bigger payouts. That's how some users end up earning hundreds, even $500 or more on certain offers. It's crazy, but you don't have to spend anything. You can just stick to the free levels like I did and still cash out. The whole point is that instead of just sitting there scrolling endlessly through TikTok or Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts or whatever, you're playing and earning at the same time. When it's time to cash out, you got options. You want to hit up PayPal, you want some gift cards, you can do whatever you want to. It's your decision. It's your world. I'm just living in it. So if you're curious, hit the link in my description or scan the code that's been on screen the entire time. You can just scan the code right there. You have the ability to just screen capture, scan the code, click the description. Make sure you do it through me, guys. Sign up for my link because I'm broke, guys. I'm doing this for the money, man. I got my family locked up. I beg you, please start playing for cash in your spare time. And when you use my link or QR code, you'll get a $5 bonus to get things right off. So go ahead and get the free cash right now. Freecash.com and Zero CV. You're not responsible for any bodily harm, any extra harm, anybody getting destroyed, anybody getting hit with a meteor, anybody getting hit with a natural disaster, anybody getting hit with the power of God, anybody with God's wrath, any thunder striking your body, anybody that actually has kids because of this, anybody that gains thousands of dollars, they do not use that in order to attack me or strike me and send drones to my house to destroy my entire body. I appreciate that. That'd be lovely. Thank you. I would appreciate that a lot. And if you could enjoy this, just use my link in the description. Like I said before, use the QR code. Go ahead and do that. Everything's bye.
Okay, back to whatever I was talking about before. So the big reason that they fear the No Kings rally is the same reason that a vampire fears the sunshine. It is a simple, undeniable statement of a truth they have spent generations, fortunes, and entire mythology trying to bury under a mountain of flags and anthems and focus group slogans. The truth is this: America was not built on the principle of obedience. As a matter of fact, American people, all of America was built from a scream of refusal. This country was not founded by men who asked politely for a seat at the table. It was forged by men who saw the table itself as corrupt and chose to flip it over, splintering the wood for kindling to start their own fire. No Kings is not a threat to our democracy. It is a defibrillator applied to its still, silent hearts. This isn't about burning the house down, not at all, no. It's about reminding everyone who lives inside that the foundation was poured by rebels, not subjects. That we were never meant to kneel, not before a man on a literal throne of gold, nor a man in a suit who acts like he sits on one, who mistakes a military parade for a coronation and demands loyalty at his divine rights. I want to be crystal when I say these words to you. No Kings is not a left-wing idea. It is not a right-wing idea. It is the original American idea. It is the ghost in the machine, the bone-deep memory of a nation that kicked off its change. The founders weren't drafting a polite suggestion box from a distant monarch. No, they were standing in the heat of Philadelphia, sweat on their brows, risking the noose to declare one thing to the most powerful empire on earth: you do not own us. No Kings is a natural, necessary echo of that first world-shattering gunshot. It is not radical. It is the bedrock. It is the usual manual for a free people that we threw away. And that is precisely why we are so terrified of it, because it holds up a mirror to power, any power, all power. And in a voice that does not whisper, it says, we see what you are doing and we do not consent. Of course, They're going to try to twist this words. Mike Johnson's going to say, oh, this is un-American. This is anarchy. Oh my God, it's anarchy. Ah. They will point to shadowy funders and nefarious plots. They'll say, oh, and Antifa's organizing it. This is crazy, Antifa. But these are the desperate lies of those who have run out of real arguments. When you strip away the propaganda, the fear-mongering, and the performative outrage, the core of No Kings, the protest in itself, is unbearably simple. And that is its power. It is the reminder that every single institution in this country, every courthouse, every legislative chamber, every title and uniform exists for one reason and one reason only: to serve the people. It does not exist to rule them. We, the people, is not the opening line of a poem. It is the source of all authority. It is the people's chant, people's elbow, and they hate it. Not because it is a lie, because it is the most dangerous truth that they have ever faced. They will scream that this is an attack on a nation itself, but it's the purest projection. It is an attack on the control they have to believe it's their birthright. No, their fury is not born of patriotism to call this un-American. It is very American to protest. This of a deep seething anger that we will not be silent. You are acting as if you are the very kings we once fought against. That some of us still have the ancient revolutionary nerve to be dissent. To be descendant, to be the descent, to dissent? Is it to be? Descent is a verb. Descent is a verb. I don't know why I'm saying that. Descent is a verb. They would rather call us ungrateful or extremist or whatever, or pro-Hamas or whatever it is, than admit the terrifying reality that they have constructed gilded thrones from planks of propaganda and dare to call it love of the country. But the spell is breaking. We are no longer buying the lie. It is profoundly telling that the loudest voices crying anti-American are the very ones who swoon over golden idols, who demand slavish loyalty oaths, and who call for the punishment of anyone who dares to protest. They do not want a president, a servant of the public. They crave a king, a ruler, a man who commands, not leads, who tells them what they want to hear, never what they need to know, whose authority feels preordained even when it is built on a foundation of fear and falsehood. These are not patriots. They are courtiers in a make-believe palace, mistaking their own servitude for virtue, and that is why No Kings shatters their worlds. It refuses to play their game. It is not for sale. It doesn't have a corporate sponsor. It does not have a slick marketing campaign or a billionaire backer with a blue check mark. I'm talking to you, Elon. It is messy and raw and human. And this is what terrifies them more than anything else in the world, because when people begin to think for themselves, their knees begin to unbend. And when they stop kneeling, they start asking questions, and power in any form hates nothing more than a question it cannot answer. This whole thing is not about one man. It is about the very idea of unaccountable power. It is about a Supreme Court that issues rulings with a cold, dispassionate air of royalty, pretending their political preferences are divine judgment. It is about lawmakers who treat their constituents as a bothersome audience rather than the bosses who sign their paycheck. It is about corporations that purchase politicians like commodities and billionaires who see democracy as a messy, inconvenient speed bump on their road to total control. No Kings is a blade that cuts through all of it and says no thrones, no divine right to rule, no expectations. This is the threat, and that is its breathtaking beauty. There is something in the American soil, something in our rusty, bloody, imperfect DNA that rejects the notion of a permanent superior. Our entire national story, for all its flaws, what it's done to black people, what it's done to Native Americans, what it's done to the indigenous people, what it's done to Japanese in the internment camps, what it's done to women, what it's done, it is still a story of standing up. Regardless of all the flaws you may commit, we must have these flaws because it is what made America what it is today. But that fire has been banked, slowly smothered by cheap efforts, by screens that feed us distraction, by a culture that teaches us to kneel to algorithmic gods and cheer for men who have never once bled for us, only for themselves. George Washington at least fought in a war before he became a president. He fought. No Kings is a reminder that we are the monster under their bed. We, the people, are still here, still breathing, and some of us, against all odds, are still remembering. And now the court jesters of the new digital empire trying to spin it. The grifters, the choutclasers, the professional outragers, they rant and they whine. They who have never cared for the safety of the soul of this nation, who only care for the click, the view, the engagement. They see a raw, real human protest and they try to weaponize it to use it as a cudgel in their own petty cultural wars. But this too is just another form of monarchy. The monarchy of attention, deciding who is worthy of a voice and who will still be silenced. But we are not fooled. This country does not belong to kings. It does not belong to streamers, to pundits, to party bosses, or to tech oligarchs. It belongs to the noisy, the unpolished, the restless, and the rude. It belongs to the ones who still give a damn, even when they are told to sit down and shut up. It belongs to those who can still feel the original heat, the liberty, true liberty, the one the statue represents. On New York has never been about comfort. It's always been about risk. No kings is more than a phrase painted on a sign. It is a heartbeat. It is a refusal that is both ancient and urgently new. It is a sound of a generation rubbing its eyes, is waking up to the realization that patriotism is not synonymous with silence. They love that, don't they? They love that weirdness. They love to brand us as evil. That love of country is not demonstrated by a blind eye, by a clear, challenging gaze. That's what it's demonstrated by. We have to challenge them. They want us docile. They want us distracted, fat, and happy. No, but they have forgotten the one thing that should keep them awake at night. This country was not made by subjects. It was made by rebels. Rebels, and if they push too hard, if they forget their place for one moment too long, they will find they have created more of them than they could ever possibly silence. So I say, let them fear it. Let them scream themselves hoarse. Let them weave their lies, because no matter how they try to contort it, this protest is not a crime. It is a correction, a necessary, painful, and long overdue course correction. The kind we were promised from the very beginning. No kings, not here, not now, not ever. No kings, not here, not now, not ever.
I'm your Nick at night, be my Laurel, please, Lord. Ooh, happy to try what you need. Your world, I love to live in it. Ooh, I love the ride when you're free.